Yes, the author said she wanted to be a good detective story writer and she considered herself to be a good detective story writer. Some of her books satisfied and pleased her, but they never satisfied her completely because, according to her, no, if you achieve your goal, you will never satisfied. Your desires will increase that you wanted to achieve something more. Similarly, she said nothing turns quite in the way you thought. Not if you plan something, it is not uh, important. It is not like that. Ki the way we have planned things will go like that only. She has given the example that suppose we are sketching out the notes of first chapter, we plan that we'll do like this, but it never happens according to our plan. Okay. Then she said, my dear mother in law would, I think, have liked me to write a biography of some world famous figure. I cannot think of anything I should be worse at doing. What she said, ki her mother in law wanted her to write the biography of some famous personalities, but she thought ki she was not able to do that thing. She was not good in writing biography of some famous personality. Anyway, I remained sufficiently modest to say occasionally without thinking, yes, but then of course I am not really an author. This way, usually corrected by Rosalind, who would say, but you are an author, mother. You are quite definitely an author by this time. When her mother-in-law wanted her to write the biography of famous personality, she said, "Okay, I will." But according to her, she thought that she was not really an author. And on that note, her daughter Rosalind corrected her by saying that you are an author, mom. You are an author, and you are quite definitely an author by this time. By this time, you have written so many books, stories, so you are an author. So don't say like this that you are not an author. Rosalind was her daughter. So poor Max had one serious penalty laid on him by marriage. Poor Max. Who is Max here? Max was Agatha Christie's husband. Okay. As he was not fond of reading, that's why she is saying that she had one serious penalty laid on him by marriage, as she was fond of writing and reading, and Max is completely opposite of her. He had, as far as I could find out, never read a novel. Catherine Woolley had forced the murder of Roger Ackroyd upon him, but he had got out of reading it. Somebody had discussed the denouement in front of him, and after that he said, what on earth is good of reading a book when you know the end of it? Catherine Woolley was her friend. She forced him to read the novel, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, but he didn't do, didn't read it. Somebody had discussed the denouement in front of him. Somebody has discussed the final part of the novel, final part of the book, what is going to be happen in the end. Denouement means final part of the play, end of the play. And then he said, what on earth is good of reading a book when you know the end of it? So I hope it's clear. Now, however, as my husband, he started manfully on the task. By that time, I had written 10 books at least, and he started slowly to catch up with them. Since a really erudite book on archaeology or on classical subjects was Mac's idea of light reading, it was funny to see what heavy weather he made of reading light fiction. However, he stuck to it, and I'm proud to say, appeared to enjoy his self imposed task in the end. So after he said, what on earth is good of reading a book when you know the end of it? He started reading, and by that time, she has written how many books? 10 books. And he started slowly to catch up with them. Erudite means having great knowledge. Okay. And archaeology is the study of human history. So she said a really. Then she had written book on archaeology. Okay. And which was liked by her husband as he believed in light reading. And it was funny for her to watch him reading light fiction. Fiction is a story. So he stuck to it, and she was proud to say finally he enjoyed his self-imposed task. Self-imposed task means here she was proud that her husband is finally enjoying his self interesting task. The funny thing is that I have little memory of the books wrote just after my marriage. I suppose I was enjoying myself so much in ordinary living that writing was a task which I performed in spell and burst. I never had a definite place which was my room or where I retired specially to write. This has caused much trouble for me in the ensuing years, since whenever I had to receive an interviewer, their first wish would always be to take a photograph of me at my work. Show me where you write your books. Now, in this paragraph, what she said, the funny thing is that she had a very less memory of the books, whatever she had written after the marriage. And actually, she was enjoying her life so much in ordinary things, that writing is a task for her that she was performing. She had no definite place where she would sit and write. Okay, this created problem for her in the later years, where whenever she has to give an interview, the first question of the interviewer was to take the photograph of her at her working